Okay, let's get the data back on. All right, so here's what we've got. We are stuck with this data. We have to use it all. Sorry. So we know that this data point right here is at 0, 22. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll put 10 out there. This is 22 right here. Turn this off. Let's see if we can't predict what the curve should look like without even having to go through the trial that we did last time. So everybody had a penny, and they flipped it. And if you got heads, you were done? Yes, you were done. And if you got tails, you kept going. Make a prediction based on that. If we started with 22, and all of us flipped a perfectly fair coin, in a perfectly ideal world, how many should be left after the first flip? 50%. 50%. I also heard somebody back there say, very quietly, 11, yes. 11, there it is! Half should stay and half should go. Why is that? Because we have a half chance when you flip a coin. There's one head and there's one tail. And assuming the coins are weighted properly, we should have half of you getting heads and half of you getting tails. That means half of you. You know what? Let's simulate it right now. Grab your TIs. Grab your TIs. We're not going to get the coins back out. A, because I left them at the office, and B, because you don't need them. You ready for this? Get to your home screen real quick. Ready for this? Press the math button. Math. M-A-T-H. Math.
Okay.
It's over to the left.
Good.
Okay, go over to the PRB menu. Oh, you can't see that. PRB menu. Probability. Yes, probability. Okay. Scroll down until you see the one that's called Rand Int. Rand Int. Okay, so far? Press enter. Get back to the home screen now. Type 1, 2. Jeremiah, I'm going to ask you to put a pick on you again here. What's 1, heads or tails?
Heads.
1 is heads, 2 is tails. Everybody press enter 1 time. Raise your hands if you got heads. That is, if you got 1. Raise your hand if you got 1. Good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Raise your hands if you got tails, which is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do it again. Press enter again. Raise your hands if you got heads this time. In other words, you got a 1 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 again. Interesting. Raise your hands if you got tails this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do it again. Raise your hands if you got heads this time. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Raise your hands if you got tails this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, interesting. Flip-flopped. Do it again. Raise your hands if you got heads this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Raise your hands if you got tails this time. 1, 2. You see what's happening, friends? It's flip-flopping. Not always back and forth perfectly, but it's flip-flopping. Occasionally, we'll land exactly half and half, but not very often. But it will on what? Over time, what's going to happen to the heads and the tails? They're going to even out historically over time. You saw the exact same thing with our data yesterday. Sometimes more than half of us flipped heads on the first trial, sometimes less. The more you do it, the more the pattern kicks on. So, going back to our beautiful graph, which I will now turn off, let's predict if that behavior consistently went on and on and on, how many people should still be flipping after the first trial? We said it earlier, right? There were 22 in the beginning?
11.
Should be 11, yes? I think so. It should go to 11. To quote Nigel, Spinal Tap. Gesundheit. Okay, this is a prediction. I'm doing prediction in blue here. Prediction in blue. Okay? Next flip. On average, is it recording? I think it is. Yeah, we're recording. We're good.
5.5-ish.
5.5-ish. Now you're going to say, Rule, you can't have 5.5. You're correct. But you can average 5.5, can't you? You can average 5.5. Matter of fact, almost all of our data points were decimals because we averaged them. No problem with that, not a problem. So now, at the second trial, we should have half of those remaining, which would have been 2, 5.5. You guys see the pattern now? Continue. Figure out all the predicted points right now. Figure them all out right now. Go all the way out to 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Figure out what they're supposed to be. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to